back to my channel. So in this video, I'm gonna be talking about why detangling is important. So I made a list of reasons. Kind of wanted to touch base on this. I did make a video like maybe a couple years ago where I did show you guys how I detangle my hair. I might leave that in the link in the links below. But I just kind of wanted to talk about like the importance of trimming and why you should trim and what trimming. Y'all know I love trimming, but not trimming, girl. Detangling. Why I made a video a while ago, probably like a year or maybe even more or so ago, of me showing you how I detangle my hair and why it's so important, and how I do it. But this video is going to be more so about like how about why detangling is so important and why you should do it on a regular basis, and like what the benefits are of detangling. And I made a list of things, but they're kind of all over the place. I didn't really organize them in any kind of category, but I guess I'll just like touch base as to why these things are important for detangling and why you should detangle. Is that curly hair curls up on itself, whether it's intact strands or shed hair. So detangling helps to remove these two problem sources and helps to return your hair to a ready to style tangle-free state. So that basically means that because curly hair like curls up on itself, it's more likely to just kind of like be doing all of this and create a knot. If you don't detangle that knot is just gonna grow. That grow meaning like attract more hair and make a bigger knot, and that can make your head end up locking or dreading. I know the word dread is kind of controversial, but it will end up, your hair will end up locking on itself into a dreadlock. So yeah, if you don't want locks, detangling is for you. So basically, also too, your hair sheds every day. Like they say about 100 strands a day. I don't think it's that many, but it could be, I don't know. But they say about 100 strands a day you're losing. Imagine all these strands are just kind of like being let go from the root of your scalp, and they're kind of getting stuck in your curly hair because your hair is curly and not letting it just like slide on out. If you're not detangling, it's just gonna stay in there, again, resulting in knots and resulting in locking. So you want to detangle on damp hair. That is the best way to do it. A lot of people used to say like don't ever brush or comb or whatever your hair when it's wet because your hair is most fragile, which is true, the fragile aspect. But your hair is, when it's dry, it is not as easy, it doesn't have as much give. So when your hair is wet, the elasticity kind of has more flexibility. And also too, when you're putting, like, your hair is wet and you're putting a product in your hair like a conditioner, it smooths the cuticle of your hair down to make it more slippery so that those knots can kind of like slip on out. If you're doing it on dry hair, your hair is more likely to have friction and fight against those knots, making more knots. So the best way to detangle hair is on wet hair, aka conditioned hair, right? When you detangle, like a lot of people detangle and they don't detangle properly. So you want to detangle thoroughly. And when I say that, I mean like, especially when your hair is more coily, more a tighter texture, you're gonna need to really thoroughly detangle. And that can mean like from ends to roots, roots to ends. You make sure you're getting in the kitchen back here, make sure you're but combing the roots of your hair. I know so many people who, oh, I detangle, but really they are only detangling the ends and maybe part of the middle shaft, right? And they're leaving their roots susceptible to knots because they're not detangling through the roots, and the roots is the part where it's letting go all that shed hair. So you're getting all this like accumulation of shed hair kind of just letting go at the root. You have to like brush through the root to bring it out and bring it down to get rid of that shed hair. If you're just detangling the ends, you are not properly detangling your hair, and you can cause more knots, more damage, more tangles, okay? Your styles are going to be so much better once you learn how to detangle properly, because your hair, I don't know how to explain it, like you're just like when you have knots in your hair and you try to do a wash and go, it just doesn't like look as good. I don't know how to explain how or why, but your styles, twist outs, braid outs, all of that will just not look as good, mostly because you have all this shed hair at the root. So your roots will probably be more puffy because you're not giving your roots the proper attention it needs, and there's not enough like moisture getting into those roots because you have a lot of dead hair kind of stuck in this area. So all the hair that needs that moisture is kind of having to share with hair that's dead, and that's not really good when you're trying to just take care of the hair that's, I mean, hair is dead, but you know what I mean, the hair that's actually attached to your head right here and now. So you want to thoroughly detangle. You want to, detangle from the ends, work your way to the middle, work your way to the roots, and make sure you're, especially if you're using a tangle teaser. So when I say brush, I mean something like of that nature, or even a Denman brush. You want to detangle through the roots, and you want to feel that, like, those bristles on your scalp. Not hard, but just like enough so that your hair is gliding through that brush or tangle teaser, comb, paddle brush. But just not, and when I say don't brush your hair wet, I mean mostly like bristle brushes that snag and things like that. But like paddle brushes, tangle teasers, Denman brushes, those are all good ways of detangling, which leads me into my next thing. If you have a big old knot or hair that has not been detangled in a while, you don't want to just go into detangling with a Denman brush right off the bat, just like ripping it through. Like, you want to start off big and work your way small. So what I like to do is I like to detangle with a wide tooth comb to make sure my hair is detangled from a more spread out way, like I don't know how to explain it, but basically like I'm getting the tangles or the shed hairs from a more spread out position, and then I work my way down and go into my tangle teaser, which has a little bit more spread out bristles than that, but it also has some flex and give, so that and then I'll just work that through and start detangling like that. Like, once I know all the tangles are out with the wide tooth comb, I work it down to the tangle teaser, and then once I know that's worked down very well, I use my Denman brush and work it down even more, and then proceed to styling. And that is like the best way for me and how I detangle my hair. The benefits of detangling is you will get less knots, and you will get not less shedding, but more so, like, not necessarily that less shedding, but you'll just see less shed hair on a regular basis, versus like if you detangle your hair properly one good time and you get all this hair and you're like, oh my god, my hair's falling out, versus if you did it like once a week, you wouldn't get as much hair because you are properly detangling more regularly than just doing it every once in a while, if that makes sense. And also too, if you're detangling every once in a while and you're getting a lot of hair, yeah, it could be a bunch of shed hair, but it could also be because you're pulling out all that shed hair that wasn't pulled out sooner. It could be snagging on the fresh hair, or the hair that's like ingrained into your scalp, and that could be damaging to the hair that you actually have on your head. Another thing, you want to detangle in sections. You don't want to detangle and like especially if you have tighter textures, like such as me. Some girls detangle in 4 sections, right? Like 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't do that unless I want my hair to fall out. So yeah, so I have to detangle in many sections. I usually do, like, to me they're medium sized, but I do like about 12 sections in my head. But I have a lot of hair. My hair is really dense, as you can see. I have a lot of thick hair. So I know, because I have a lot of thick hair, and because my hair is a tighter texture, I need more sections. So I always detangle in sections and work my way forward. That's usually how I detangle my hair. So yeah, so the benefits of detangling is you'll have less tangles, less knots. You also won't need it. Also too, you won't need to detangle as hard, if that makes sense. Meaning, like, my hair is pretty much detangled every time I wash. So like when I wash my hair and I detangle in the shower, it's not like crazily tangled, because I detangled it the previous week, and the previous week before that, and the week before that, and the week before that, and the week. So my hair stays kind of like, it behaves like your hair is like almost kind of like a child. She's kind of erratic like one, but if you teach her to like cooperate with you, she will. So if you're consistent, she will be on your time more so than on her time. You know what I mean? I mean, she's always gonna be on her time, because, hair is hair. But it'll be easier for you to work through it and work on it if you kind of establish some boundaries with it, you know what I mean? So if for the last 6 months you've been detangling properly, when you take a shower and you go to like detangle your hair, it's kind of like okay, it's detangled. And then when you go to style, it's kind of just like okay, it's style. It's kind of like more, it's kind of like deep conditioning. If you deep condition on a regular basis, your hair is moisturized enough where if you have to miss a week of deep conditioning, you can, because your hair is like, I'm good, I'm fed, we're good over here, go ahead, miss that 1 week, I know you got something to do today, it's all good. Your hair will be more lenient with you, versus if you just never deep condition and your hair is just thirsty and dry, and it's every week it's falling out because you don't ever moisturize it. So it's better to just go ahead and have a schedule with it and do it like every time you go to wash your hair. I wouldn't skimp on the I usually say skimp on the trim, but I wouldn't skimp on detangling either, because it's a very important process in styling the hair, making sure it's healthy, getting length retention, and removing any, like, it's kind of like removing debris, like just kind of removing any debris, hair that's no longer functioning on your scalp, away from your body, so that you can thrive the hair that is functioning on your scalp. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful. If you guys have any more questions about detangling or anything like that, definitely let me know. I definitely have a video of me showing you guys like more detailed of how I detangle, how I go about it. I will have that link below in my related videos. You can just scroll a little bit and you'll see some of my related videos, and then there's usually videos that relate to the current video, just in case you guys didn't, if you guys didn't know that was there. It's there in every video I post. So yeah, and if you have any questions about detangling, let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.